Whoo, boy, that's it right there. Uh-oh. What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? It is Friday. How is everybody doing on this beautiful Friday? I just wanted to make sure I had a view to see a little bit of that traffic today. It's raining outside. It's a beautiful day in the Buckhead community of Atlanta. And I am excited. Happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen. I know I'm sitting here sporting my next level gear, and what an amazing Friday it's been so far. This is the Friday, the day that the Lord has made. We're going to rejoice and be glad in it. If you're coming on, here's what I need you to do. Come on, you should already know the protocol. Hit the like button, hit the share button, tag Lolly Dolly everybody. Let them know Prophet Ramon Preston, the Ramon Preston Show, and the squad right here, next level, baby, in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. We are live. For those of you that don't know, I think it's a good place for me to let you know that my name is Ramon Preston, and I am the host of the Ramon Preston Show. And every Monday through Friday, with the exception of me being MIA, like I was Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday in the MIA, with the exception of me being MIA because of other responsibilities, we come to you every Monday through Friday to give you information, data, to give you all of what you need to properly start, structure, and scale your businesses, your ministries, your income streams, and even your wealth building dreams. And so we just passed the 5-month mark since we've launched the Ramon Preston Show. And I can't even begin to tell y'all how many thousands upon thousands. We've literally had almost 200,000 views on our YouTube page. So shout out to our YouTube followers, all of our tribe members on YouTube. Thank you so much. Of course, I appreciate all of you on every other audio and video platform. But for those of you that are on YouTube, that continue to watch our show, follow our show, engage in our show, and to take all the information that we give you on our YouTube channel. Thank you for being a part of our tribe, being a part of our community. We're helping a lot of people, but we've had almost 200,000 views, and most of those views, at least a good portion of them, maybe 2/3 of those views, have come just within the last 5 months as a result of us launching this show, providing valuable information that people seem to want more of. And guess what? Based on the data, based on the analytics, based on the research that my team and I continue to do on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly basis, the biggest ticket item of information that we have on our YouTube channel, the biggest ticket item that we provide services and solutions for, even with our clients, that biggest ticket item is actually centered around the concept and the structuring of a holding company. So shout out to all of you that continue to watch, that continue to follow, that continue to share, that continue to like, tag, and just engage. Now, here's what I want you to know. If you are if you are participating in any of our programs, our coaching program, our Blueprint Game Plan program, we have some amazing new programs that we are about to launch and introduce. So if you're part of our business coaching program, if you are a part of our Blueprint Game Plan program, this information that we're about to launch and introduce is going to be free to you, because we're adding it to our signature Blueprint Game Plan, which is free for all of our coaching clients. And for those of you that are participating just in our Blueprint Game Plan program, perhaps you're on a 1-year plan, which means as long as your year is not up, you're going to have access to all the information, all the new training programs that we are about to introduce. Please, can you make sure you drop in the comments what city you're watching from? Let me know what city you're watching from. I can't tell you what city I'm watching from. I can tell you what city I'm hosting the show from, and that is the beautiful city of Atlanta, but it is the Buckhead community. Actually, Buckhead is trying to split from Atlanta. I don't know how good it's going, but whatever the case is, I'm here in Buckhead, whether it's a city or just a business district of Atlanta. I'm here in Buckhead, and I want to know where you're watching from. We like to go back and revisit all of our videos. We pull all the questions. We pull all the comments. A lot of people, many of you that might be watching today, you can probably attest to the fact that if you have sent us a question on inboxes or on any of our channels or platforms, more than likely we have responded to that question with a legitimate answer, not just with some vague answer to sell you a product or a service, but to really provide value to you. So I'm proud of my team. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of what we've been able to accomplish just within the last few years since we have pivoted into a greater assignment to bring economic breakthrough and deliverance to our tribe, to our community, to our people. So put in the comments what city you're watching from. If you have any questions that you want to ask, please, sis, please, dog, come on, bruh. Just call the number. You can dial 678-922-1963, extension number 1. That's 678-922-1963, extension number 1. 678-922-1963, extension 1. If you dial that number right now while we live on the show, not a replay. Well, actually, if you dial that number and it's a replay or a recording, it's still going to reroute to my personal cell phone. That's only if you dial 678-922-1963, extension 1. We're working on some technological advances so that when you are calling during the live show, I don't have to literally answer my personal cell phone and pick it up. But that's neither here or there, because that ain't going to really make that big of a difference, especially when I'm on here spitting game, shooting my shot to give you what you need to get to your next level. So drop in the comments what city you're watching from. And we want to make sure that you're getting everything you need so that you can properly start, you can properly structure, and you can properly scale your business, your holding company, your ministry, your nonprofit organization. Maybe you ain't really focusing on starting, instruction, and scaling a business or a nonprofit, but just your personal finances. You want to put a wealth building plan together. What I am most proud about is that everything that we provide in terms of services and solutions through Ramon Preston Enterprises, everything, whether it's consulting, whether it's coaching or training, what we provide in our consulting, coaching, and training divisions, we are actually living. We are exceeding our expectations and succeeding in the same areas that we're teaching and training and providing services and solutions for. In other words, I ain't on here on social media capping, acting like I'm some internet guru, but I ain't really living it. So it's it's impossible. That's something that I learned this week when I was in Miami. It's impossible for you, excuse me, to take somebody. I hope y'all can hear me clear too.
Somebody said, I was just gonna watch your other live and you live.
It's impossible. This is something that I learned just this past week. And if for some reason while I'm talking, I know I got my next level gear on today, so I got my mic attached to my string. So if for some reason I start making too much noise moving around and you start hearing it rub against my garment, just let me know and I'll make that adjustment. But one of the things that I learned, and they really hammered that in this week when I was in Miami for 3 days, a part of a business workshop. One of the things that they continued to emphasize on was that it's impossible. They were very emphatic. They were right to the point. It's impossible for you to take somebody somewhere you ain't been. It's impossible for you to take someone beyond a lid that you live up under. Now, that's a principle that I have understood, fundamentally speaking, because I have been an entrepreneur long enough. I have been a minister and a church leader and a community leader and a tribal leader to my people long enough. But when you hear somebody like break it down and explain to you what they actually mean by that, not just like philosophically, you know, because a lot of times we say things, and that was like a big lesson I learned this week, that when you using words and you're saying things, make sure you have an understanding and other people have an understanding of the words that you're using and what you actually mean by what you're saying. So it's just impossible for you to take somebody where you've never been. And for those of you that really know that you want to go to another level, you want to go beyond 4 figures or 5 figures, or you might have a business that ain't really making that much money. You just got to make the decision. You got to make the decision to not only align yourself with the right people, but to align yourself with the right practices, with the right amount of effort, with the right amount of systems and processes and all the things that are needed and necessary so that you can actually reach that expected end. And so today, I just wanted to share a few. This is what I'm doing today. It's Friday. You can tell I'm not dressed. I actually got to go home and get dressed because I have a very important business meeting this afternoon. And I just found that out, by the way. You know, that wasn't even on the schedule. I just found that out. I know. My personal assistant's like, I ain't even know that. Yeah, well, your other boss,
Wow.
my wife.
So let me text her.
Yeah, she calls me. She calls me. Well, she texted me about 20 minutes ago, and she was like, "Can you talk?" And so yeah, I call her right back, and she's like, "Yeah, here's what you're gonna have to do, because I know you looking like you just come from the hood, so you're gonna have to come home. You gonna have to take a shower. You gonna have to shave. You're gonna have to put on your signature suit, and put your game face on, dog, and you're gonna have to come with me to this business meeting, because I need you up in that joint. And guess what? If I show up in that joint, somebody gonna sign. Matter of fact, when I go to business meetings, I don't expect for other people to have pens. I bring my own pen just in case they want to sign. And guess what? If I don't have papers with me, I bet you I got that Adobe open. See, they don't know about that Adobe. That Adobe. They don't know about that Adobe. Because, see, they still old school. Some people still old school. They trying to... What?
Somebody had responded and said that's the problem they have with Score.
With
Score, when you was talking earlier.
With Score.
Yeah.
What was that?
Whatever you was talking about earlier.
With SCORE?
Yeah.
I don't know what I was talking about. With Score?
You saying a lot, yeah. They just say they have a problem with it.
Okay, somebody just responded. Is that YouTube?
Yeah.
Somebody just responded that they have a problem with Score. If you're still watching, can you kind of clarify that? I could give a little more redress to it. I'm just not sure what you were talking about when you say you also have a problem with Score. But whatever the case is, today, y'all. Say what now? We're still not on Facebook?
No.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Facebook. Facebook done kicked us out.
I guess so.
Yeah, we try to stream live at the same time with Facebook and YouTube, but for some reason, oh, okay, here we go. I just read it. I just pulled up YouTube. Timberlake. TRI 111 trillionaire. Okay, I get it. Timberlake trillionaire. Shout out to you. SCORE has mentors assigned and they haven't been where they're trying to lead us, like you were saying. Absolutely, dog. Absolutely. If like I have a company that is, before this year is out, gonna be considered to be a multi-million-dollar company. I've been saying it's a $1 million company, which I know it is, and everybody around me and works with me and the people who are helping me continue to build my company know that. But if we didn't have a $1 million company, if we were not headed to having a multi-million-dollar organizational enterprise, and we're not already in that frequency and in that flow, if we wasn't generating the type of revenue that we were generating and moving at the pace we were moving, how am I going to coach people and tell people, oh, I can show you how to get to six or seven figures? Now, until I get to 8 figures and 9 figures and 10 figures, I can talk about that hypothetically, but I ain't been there. So like just this past week, I'm in Miami, Florida. I'm a part of this business mentoring training program and group of people, and it's full of millionaires. The person who runs it and owns it is a billionaire. One of his key people is a hector millionaire. And so it's only a matter of time with me putting the right processes and systems together, putting the right people in place, putting forth the right amount of time and effort and getting the right amount of information. It's only a matter of time that I'm going to scale to that 8, 9, 10 figure level. So although I have the belief, but I'm building my confidence by constructing the right pieces and tools and vehicles that I need to actually get there. But if you talk about 7 figures, 6 figures, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, I think everybody's been to 0. Everybody's been to 1, 2, or 3. Most people have been to 4 and 5, but very few people ever get to 6 or 7. And so I'm coaching people to do that because I have done it. And I've done it consistently enough year after year to know that it can be done, and that if you get the information, the training, the support, the solutions and strategies and systems and processes, and have the effort in place to put it all together, you're going to get there as well. So today, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to take a few minutes, just a few minutes to really give you some of our holding company workshop takeaways. Just this past Saturday, right here in our Buckhead boardroom around the corner from our suite, I hosted a 4-hour workshop on how to start. Wasn't that this past Saturday?
It was. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like, wow, how did I get here? Time be moving so. Huh? I'm thinking about that meeting later. That meeting is going to be a big deal. So just this past Saturday, June 26th, we hosted a 4-hour workshop on how to start and structure a holding company. And let me tell y'all, if you were not able to participate in that workshop, virtually or in person, you missed a treat. Now, here's the good thing. In this video description, you're going to see a link to sign up for that VIP holding company workshop. So the virtual video recording is available right now with all the handouts that we provided. All of that is available on our training platform, and it's only $29.99. So we offered it as a special for those who wanted to join us virtually, and we had so many people that signed up. Some of you might be listening. You signed up. Prayerfully, you were able to take away some valuable information and some valuable tactics and strategies that you have implemented or are in the process of implementing. But for those of you that know you have financial goals, you have business goals, but you want to make sure you do it right the first time. That's one of my key principles that I drill into everybody around me. Do it. If you're going to do it right the first time. So many entrepreneurs, they start businesses, they set out as entrepreneurs and they don't start and structure their businesses or organizations the right way the first time. In this holding company workshop that I hosted, it addresses all of that. And maybe you're just not ready to join our business coaching program. Maybe you're not in a position to commit for a year, which I don't know why. Maybe you're not established as an organization to hire us as a consulting firm to work with you to further structure and maybe scale certain parts of your business. But guess what? You are $29.99 away from participating in a workshop for 4 hours to learn just about everything you need to learn, and I walk you through that process. And so I want to give you some takeaways. I want to give you just a few takeaways. I might come back Monday on the show and further discuss this, since I'm really not even dressed to have a bougie, sophisticated conversation about starting and structuring a holding company. But the workshop was so spectacular. I think we had a total, do you remember? I think we had almost 40 people. It was almost 40 people, I think. I think it was 40, it was 40 people, because a few people didn't make it. A few people committed and never signed, like registered and RSVP'd. So we had close to, I'll just say that, maybe 35 people. We had close to 40 people that registered and at least had access to participate virtually and in person. Most of the people were virtual. Most of the people were virtual. But again, the information is still valid and is still practical. And so I want to talk about a few of those takeaways. Did we have a question?
Well, Delon, he said he still can't get in, but I told him he was working on it. He still couldn't get in though, because he wanted to get in that.
Is he on now?
Yes, he here.
Okay, Delon, if you're still having a problem getting in, you can reach out to us, but we added the live virtual workshops for the holding company and the QuickBooks and tax strategy workshop. We added it to your dashboard. So basically, when you log on to Ramon Preston University, where you access your blueprint, if you go to the dashboard, you should be able to look in your dashboard and see what courses you have access to. So just like the courses you see in your dashboard for your blueprint, the courses on financial literacy, goal setting, the courses on the holding company or real estate, if you go down that list, you should see 2 courses that say live virtual VIP holding company or business workshop and financial workshop. Those are the 2 courses that we added to your dashboard. And so if you click on that, you're going to see that there's a manual in that course, and then there's the recording. If you're clicking on one of the other buttons, it may be for the live event, but the live event has expired. So you have to click the other button within that course for the video recording. So you should see the video recording. But if you have problems, just reach back out to me, and I'll be more than happy to help you with that. So what are some of the big takeaways? What are some of the big takeaways? I have so many takeaways. Y'all listen, just on the holding company alone, I took 4 hours and I taught on several topics. Okay. Let me share with you a little bit about what I talked about, especially if you're interested in starting and structuring a holding company. I taught 4 sessions. Okay, the first session was on understanding the holding company. So I taught the basic fundamentals of what a holding company is and how a holding company operates, how it works. And so I want to go through some of, oh wow, I got so many papers. I want to go through some of these. Mine was all mixed up. I'm like, wow. I'm trying to figure out, how did I get here? Right?
In your behind.
In my behind. Here we go. Here we go. All right, there we go. I mean, this was such a good course. This was such a good workshop. It's just I cannot talk about it. I have to talk about it. I wanted to talk about something else today, but I was like, you know what? I have to talk about it. Now think about it. In our Blueprint game plan, I have a whole program on starting and structuring a holding company. And it's hours upon hours and lessons upon lessons teaching you a lot of things about a holding company. And in addition to all of the information that I already have in our Blueprint game plan, I was still able to take 4 hours of content and condense it in the form of a workshop to really bring some tremendous value to those of you that were participating in it. So we talked about understanding the holding company. I talked about managing a holding company, and I have about 30 questions that I answer in our online program, but in this workshop I answered the 10 most common questions concerning a holding company. The 10 most common questions. I think I'll just go through those 10 questions, and then I'll come back Monday and I'll just talk about some other things relating to a holding company. How about that? Timberlake Trillionaire said, I have a holdings company. That's why I keep browsing your channel. Okay, well, if you have a holding company and you have it already legally structured, the next step for you is to learn how to operate the day-to-day concept of that holding company. In other words, you have to learn not just the language of operating a holding company, but you have to learn the mechanics and the techniques of it, so that when you have an idea, let me give you an example. When you have an idea that comes to your mind, because you understand the concept of a holding company, you know how to drop that idea in your head, but you're dropping it in that holding company under that umbrella, and you're able to filter that idea to put it in the form of a product or service, put a price to it, and then decide how you're going to introduce it to the market as a division or as a subsidiary. So there's so many different nuances and layers to running the day-to-day operations of a holding company that a lot of people don't know, and this is why I teach on a lot of those concepts. So let me just answer the 10 most common questions. This is one session that we had in our workshop this past Saturday. I'm gonna answer a few of these questions. First question, what's the best state to register a holding company? Most holding companies are registered in the state that they primarily operate in. Some people are surprised by that. Owners who wish to maximize anonymity, they typically elect to register their holding companies in states like Wyoming, Nevada, and Delaware because of the favorable laws that courts use to protect business entities in litigation. So that's a common question that I get about what is the best state to register in a holding company. We have clients in our coaching program that we have helped and assisted start holding companies in Nevada and in Wyoming. But most of the clients that we work with and serve that choose to start their holding companies in places like Nevada or Wyoming, and maybe some in Delaware, depending on the type of business they have, most of them do it for anonymity purposes, meaning that the type of business that they have or the type of businesses that they want to start and cover under their holding company, they are businesses that they don't really want people to know them. So that's where the anonymity comes from. That's the whole idea behind, oh, I don't want nobody to know me. But here's the thing. Even though your holding company can be registered in Wyoming, if you're doing business and you have a presence to do business in another state, you still got to register in that state. The only difference is if you're doing business in Georgia and you have a presence for your business in Georgia, but your holding company is registered in Wyoming, well, guess what? If we happen to pull up your business LLC information in Georgia, we might not see your name. We're just going to see the owner of this business LLC in Georgia is a Wyoming LLC. So for the purposes of anonymity, not being known, that may work. But here's the problem for some people. I know people who have Wyoming holding companies for anonymity purposes, but they're using their names for their companies. So you actually don't want to be hidden. You want to be known. So these are things that you have to think about or consult with people who understand business and marketing and sales and branding, because if you want to be the brand ambassador for your business, if somebody wants to figure out a way to find a lawyer to find who owns company C from another state, a lawyer can track that down if you're going to be sued, okay? Or if they want to come after you, or if there's a liability. It's not like your business is in Mars and nobody can't get at you. Come on, somebody. So you got to think about, when you register in Wyoming or Nevada, when you're trying to do all these sophisticated layers for your business, because you done Google all this stuff and you think it's what's best for you because it was best for somebody else who didn't want to be known, who needed anonymity for whatever the risk factors were, and it just worked for them. You got to look at it a different perspective if you're trying to get your business off the ground. I don't want to be known. So what kind of business you doing? I'm doing A, B, and C. Well, you got to be known to do that business. You got to be the brand ambassador. You're not a billionaire that doesn't need to be known. You're the brand ambassador for your business. And if you can't afford someone else or something else to be the brand ambassador for your business, those are things that you got to take into consideration. And most small business owners shouldn't even be trying to layer their businesses in some sophisticated ways, especially when they ain't making no doggone money. That's what gets me. I know people who have 30 layers of a business system in 3 different states. They might even have offshore accounts that they figured out a way to do it. They got wheels, they got trusts, they got this kind of trust, they got that kind of trust. And guess what? They ain't making no money. I make more money than all of them. I know a whole lot of people that got all this stuff and they ain't making no money. They just got entities and domain names and logos and websites and cards and digital this and digital that, and they ain't making no money because they're worried about things that are not going to affect and impact their top line revenue. That's just my take on it. Here's another question that's common. What is the best way to get funding for your business? What is the best way to get funding for your... These are common questions. Like I know I don't look like I'm a business person today, but I consider myself to be a professional business consultant.
You are.
Okay? I consider myself to be a professional business consultant. I know how to consult real estate investors. I know how to consult solopreneurs, career professionals, small business owners. I know how to consult them. And these common questions that I'm sharing with you are some of the most common questions I have gotten as a business consultant. Okay? So here's the second one. What is the best way to get funding for your holding company? Everybody want to figure out how can I get funding? Here's my answer. The first and best way to get funding for your holding company should be through business sales. Think about what I just said. If you're looking for a way to get funding for your holding company and or for any of the businesses that are under your holding company, the first way and the best way should be through business sales, because this is the heartbeat and lifeline to every business. It makes absolutely no sense for someone to be so fixed and focused on getting funding from a bank or from an institution, and they're not even participating in daily exchanges in the market to make sales. Meaning that If you got products and services, right? You need to take those products and services, knock on doors, make cold calls, send emails out, stay on social media, promote, advertise, get as much attention as you can so that you can make a sale. Because guess what? Mark Cuban and a lot of major billionaires and major figures in finance will always say sales answers all problems. Because if you're making sales, guess what you're making? Let me say it again. I can't hear nobody on social media. If you're making sales, what are you making? If you're making sales, what are you making? You're making money. Moolah, baby. You getting the bag, dog. So if you have a problem with money, don't just focus and fix all of your time and attention and efforts on funding, because what's happening is we have a lot of entrepreneurs who, they singing, wait till I get my money right, like Kanye West, and they trying to get their credit right, they trying to get hard money lenders, they trying to get payday loans, merchant account opportunities, when you need to pick up your doggone products. You need to pick up your services, and you need to get out there and find somebody who want to give you money for it. Because if you can't figure that out, even when you get funding, when that funding money is gone, now you're going to be stuck with a monthly payment. And if it's a merchant account, you're going to be paying daily payments. See, I done been through all them stages. I used to be the credit card king. I told you I had about $100,000 worth of credit card debt at one point. I probably had about 50 credit cards. I probably had 30 in my wife's name. So I was the credit card king because I thought, okay, I got to finesse and work my way through this financial system just to get off the ground. I tried to get loans from banks. I've had hard money loans from hard money lenders. I've had merchant account loans where they withdraw daily payments through ACH payments out of your account Monday through Friday, every Monday through Friday for 6 months. They take it out of your account. I done had all of that. The only thing that saved me from not going under and bankrupting was I'm a hustler by nature. I'm a hustler, baby. So I'm gonna get up every day and I'm gonna bang. One thing about me, I'm a bull, I'm a lion. I'm gonna get out there and kill something every day to eat for me and for my family. Nothing and nobody's gonna stop me from taking care of my family. I'm a survivor, so I know how to make it happen. That's the only thing that saved me. And on top of that, of course, I had God on my side and my wife, who always kept me focused. But here's my point. I had to get to a point that I had to accept the fact that, bruh, the reason why you need all these credit cards and all these loans is because you ain't making sales, dog. You ain't making sales. You capping. You acting like you got a business and ain't nobody buying nothing. My personal assistant, she knows that, don't you?
Yes.
Like it's only so many days got to go by that. It's like, oh, we ain't making no money. Ain't nothing happening. Ain't no business. Ain't nothing coming in. Something wrong. I can look at your face some days because she's a personal assistant / coaching coordinator / sales consultant. She's got to do it all with me.
Yes.
But I can look at you some days and you had that look on your face like, I need some bags. I need to get, in other words, I got to make sales.
Yeah.
I got to find new clients.
Yeah.
I got to find new prospects.
Yes.
Of course, you want to help people. You want to change lives. You want to provide the best opportunities for people through the consulting and coaching and training that you are delivering. But at the same time, you got to make a sale. Otherwise, you're not going to be in business.
Yes.
I don't care how many loans you get. That's why there's going to be a whole lot of people in 2022 and 2023. They're going to be going bankrupt because they got all these EIDL loans. Oh, they're going to start paying them.
Yeah.
In 2022. And some of them going to have to start paying them now if they didn't get an increase. Because the people who are getting increases this year, they're basically deferring it another year or so. But the people who got that money last year that didn't get an increase because everything didn't match up, Because in order to get that increase, you got to have insurance. You got to show proof of insurance. Your address got to match up to the information you put on there. You got to show tax returns. See, it's a whole lot of stuff you got to show. So it's a whole lot of people starting this year and next year. Watch this. They're going to be paying that monthly payment because the money gone because they spent it and didn't even develop themselves. At least they should have took a portion of that and say, let me get me some business coaching. Let me invest in myself so I can know more. Even if it's just for me to be around people who know what they're doing to help me come out of that rut. I was on the phone with somebody yesterday. They was calling me capping, trying to get me to do something with them in business. And so I'm on the phone with them, right? And so I'm like, dog, I can't just give you no money for no business idea just because we know each other. Like, it don't work like that. I'm like, put yourself in my position. And they like, yeah, but you know me, you trust me. I hope they ain't watching because I know they're going to be real mad. You know me, you trust. I'm like, hey, it has nothing to do with me not knowing you. It has nothing to do with me not trusting you as a person. This is business. Well, somebody had to help you. Hold on, dog. Ain't nobody gave me nothing. I know somebody gave you a handout or a hand up. No, somebody didn't. I'm like, dog, you got it twisted. You around here in La La Land thinking, oh, I'm entitled to call Ramon to get Ramon to help me with my business or to give me a financial lift because somebody helped him. Oh, no, somebody didn't. Ain't nobody give me a handout. Ain't nobody throw me a couple G's. I got it from the muscle. I got it from the ground. I woke up every day and made it happen. I know. I got my little sister used to be with me when I'm changing toilets for $40, when I'm putting up ceiling fans for $30, when I'm painting 1-2 rooms just to get me a quick $100. I would do whatever to make some money. So it wasn't like somebody said, oh, I see you, Ramon, you trying. Let me give you about 5 bands. Nobody has ever done that for me. And nobody can't publicly say it. That's why I can say what I'm saying on a public platform. So I was like, no, you got it twisted. It don't work like that. I went out there like I do today and make sales. I make exchanges. And if I make an exchange with the information I have, if it doesn't result in me getting a profit, at least I made an exchange for a purpose. Ooh, Lord, help me somebody. Help me somebody. I know I'm a hustler. I know I'm a grinder. So what is the best way to get funding? The first and best way should be through business sales, y'all. You gotta make sales if you're gonna be in business. And you gotta stop being scared. Like, I know people who have never made a cold call. I'm talking about have never just got on the phone. Hey, how you doing? My name is Ramon with Ramon Preston Enterprises. I was calling, and you go right into your pitch. You gotta do that because you don't want to be rejected. I would rather be rejected and find somebody who does business with me and be rich than to not be rejected, be comfortable and safe and broke. Like any barrier I come up against, I always think about if I let this barrier stop me, this is the furthest I'm gonna go. That's always one of my motivations. And I always think about like, how am I gonna just stop there? So listen to this. Depending on personal or business credibility, there are banks that will issue credit cards, lines of credit, and short-term loans to businesses. So for those of you that, if you make sales and you have a good accounting system like QuickBooks, which by the way, if you need QuickBooks and you would like to take advantage of a 55% discount that we have through our affiliation with QuickBooks, I want you to text QuickBooks to 404-478-7213, and we will send you the link to take advantage of a 55% off discount for your QuickBooks. So we have an affiliation with QuickBooks. We have finally become ambassadors with QuickBooks. I talk about them so much already that we have a link to give you a 55% off or up to a 55% off discount, depending on what plan you get. Let me be more correct with that. It's up to 55% off for at least 3 months, depending on the plan that you get. But in any case, whether it's a discount or not, you still need QuickBooks, especially if you're looking to get funding. Because banks are going to want to see your financial statement. They want to see your profit and loss statement. They want to see your balance sheet. This is one of the reasons why you have to structure your holding company correctly, because if you have divisions and subsidiaries under your holding company, you want them to be on your balance sheet as assets that are actually generating revenue to increase your top line. So those are things that you have to learn on running the day-to-day operations of your holding company. Here's another question. How many businesses can I have under my holding company? Guess what? You can have as many businesses as you can manage under your holding company. I like to say as many as you can manage, because here's what you got to remember. When you start a holding company and you structure divisions or subsidiaries that are other operating businesses under your holding company, they all need their own EIN. They all need their own bank account. They all need their own operating agreements. They all need their own policies and procedures. They all need maybe their own core values and their own philosophies and processes. They all need their own individual systems. They all need their own QuickBook accounting software, because you want to show separatism. Because if anybody ever challenges you on the similarities or the connectivity of your enterprise, you want to be able to show separatism, that they're actually separate entities, that you're not just like moving stuff around to make it look like it's 5 different businesses, but it's really one. But again, you can have as many businesses as you can manage under the holding company. The challenge is to make sure that you maintain separatism among all entities, as well as the right systems and staff to ensure their success. So this is getting into the mechanics or the tactics and nuts and bolts of how you actually manage the day-to-day operations of a holding company. Because if you have a holding company and then you got other LLCs that are owned by that holding company, you still got to know how to run it, how to manage the day-to-day operations of it. All right? Let's see, do we have any questions? No questions? All right, I'll keep going. I'll give y'all one more. Let me see if I can give you one more. How do you license intellectual property or equipment or other assets? Like, how do you do that? How do you license these things in your holding company? The best way would be to have an attorney in your credibility kit who can properly draft the correct documents to ensure that you're legally protected and compliant. So when it comes to licensing, when it comes to certain sophisticated contracts, I'm going to always lean towards you pulling an attorney that you should have in your credibility kit. If you don't know what a credibility kit is, I teach about that in our entrepreneurship course in our Blueprint Game Plan, because a credibility kit is basically made up of a group of professionals for certain areas or industries that you have on speed dial. Whether you have to pay them a retainer to keep them on speed dial or not, you want to have professional people in your credibility kit, so you're not around here trying to be an attorney. So you're not around here trying to be a CPA. You're not around here trying to be a tax strategist. You're not around here trying to be a forecaster. You're not around here trying to be a syndication expert. You're not around here thinking you friends with the government, or you understand the legalities of being a part of the SEC and all that. You want to have experts and professionals that do that, so that when you hit certain points or pockets in your day-to-day operations that require professional perspectives and legal corrections, you're able to reach out to them and say, hey, what should I do in a case like this? I would prefer that lawyer to tell me what I should do than to assume I can do this and realize that what I did was wrong. Now, most entrepreneurs can draft documents that specify in detail what the agreement is, what the financial obligation is, and include any rights or limitations, get it notarized, and file it in their corporate record. So there are some licensing deals that once you have it drafted correctly, you could just change some of the names and use it. If you have holding company number 1, this is LLC number 1, and you have LLC number 2, which is an operating company, and you have intellectual property that you want your holding company to own, but you want to license it to your operating company. Well, then you need to have a licensing agreement between your holding company and your operating company, and you need to get that signed, notarized, and put it in a like a PDF file or a zip file or some flash drive. That's one of the basic ways to do it if you're not using a lawyer. Do we have a question?
Yes.
Okay. The question from Timberlake Trillionaire on YouTube. Do you file an 1120 each quarter until you pay yourself a salary? Nope, I don't file that. And to be honest with you, I don't even know what 1120 is. I don't even know what an 1120 is. I have a CPA firm and a tax strategist who I work very closely with, that's on speed dial, that I can literally text right now, they'll text me back, email them right now, they'll email me back. If I call, most of the time they'll answer as long as they're not busy or overwhelmed. And they stay on top of all of my financial affairs and my organizational profits and losses. So they monitor it on a sometimes day-to-day or week-to-week or month-to-month basis to help me forecast what my potential tax liabilities are. That's how I operate. And so I don't file the quarterly forms because of how we have our company structured. But if I hit a pocket where there's something that needs to be done that may demand those types of things, my CPA firm and tax strategist, they have access to my main QuickBooks account to see my general ledger and to see where I am in terms of profits and loss and net revenue or pre-tax revenue. And they help me decide what the decisions are that I need to make to either defer certain tax liabilities or totally remove them or minimize them at best by certain financial decisions that will impact that. So I don't even know what 1120 is. I honestly don't. He says, thank you for that answer. Do you recommend tax strategists in your course? I do not recommend tax strategists. I teach a lot about tax strategies because I know enough to share enough with people, because what I have learned from working with a lot of tax strategies, at least a few good ones, and CPAs, which sometimes can be two different people, because every CPA doesn't necessarily specialize in those types of creative tax strategies. And that statement has come from a tax strategist. But then there are CPAs who know their stuff, and they're not just historians on an accounting level, they're forecasters too. But I don't personally recommend certain tax strategists, and here's some of the reasons why I don't recommend tax strategists, CPAs, or attorneys. The reason why I don't recommend those professionals, here's what I've learned from some professionals. Number one, our online training university is worldwide. So we have people from other countries that are on our university training platform. We have clients in our coaching program. We have clients that we have worked with as consultants in our consulting group that are not local clients. They're in other states. So if I know a good tax strategist here, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a good tax strategist for somebody in California. So like when we have clients that are part of our coaching program or our consulting group, and there's a demand for them to find certain professionals for certain services, if we know it's best for them as a client to have someone in their local area, we will reach out to certain colleagues to try to find the best people to fit what that client needs. But generally speaking, I'm gonna give you enough game so that you can understand the fundamentals of accounting and tax strategies enough to be able to run your own business, because a lot of times entrepreneurs depend on CPAs to teach them, but CPAs are not educators. That's why you got a lot of entrepreneurs that'll say, oh my God, I owe taxes and I thought they were supposed to help me. But all you did was just bring information to them. They put it in the system, told you what your tax bill is. They didn't educate you throughout the year. They didn't teach you certain principles, because a lot of times they are specialists in their field. They're not teaching you. And so that's one of the reasons why we don't recommend those types of professionals. Secondly, if I'm going to give a recommendation because I'm asked to by a client, my recommendation is almost always going to be to Google CPA, or you could just Google, like if I'm in Buckhead, I'm gonna tell somebody, just Google best CPA in Hampton, the best CPA in Miami, Florida, the best CPA in Arkansas, the best business or trademark attorney in West Virginia. And when a list of people come up, you find the local professionals. I'm talking about like the local ones, because some people pass up these mom and pop experts in these areas. They may be in a little plaza, in a little small little 900 square foot suite, but them jokers are smart. They'll pass them up to go to the big attorney that's always on TV. And the big attorney that's always on TV, you're not even going to have a relationship with, because they're just a marketing firm. They're not even a law office no more. They're just a marketing firm. All right? They're just marketing a name and a brand. So you type in best whatever in your area, get that list, and you call them. See if they provide a free consultation. Let them know you're a local business owner, you're in the area, you're working to build your business, and you want to establish solid professional relationships with these types of professionals. You share with them your vision for your business, for your life, for your family, for your community that they are a part of. Some of these professionals been there 30, 40 years. They like regular mom and pops. Like every professional that I work with is like that. Every professional. Every professional that I work with right now is considered like a local mom and pop, but them jokers is, they cray cray. They know they stuff. All right. So that's my answer. Here's another question. I'm gonna give y'all 5, and then Monday I'll give you the other 5. What are the tax advantages of a holding company? Well, most of the tax advantages are realized in how a holding company receives pre-tax revenue. So when you think about tax advantages for a holding company, think about what you need to know with the pre-tax revenue that your business brings in before you have to pay taxes. That's how tax strategies work. You don't wait till January or February or March of 2022 to figure out what the tax advantages of your holding company is. I just mentioned it about my CPA and tax strategist. Every day, every week, every month, we monitor the profits and losses and the net profit of my company, so that we can create tax strategies along the way. So that if that happens, this is us taking pre-tax revenue from our subsidiaries and or from our divisions, and we redistribute that or reallocate that pre-tax revenue for investment purposes. And depending on the type of investment, this can typically be considered a non-taxable event. This is how a lot of major corporations file taxes and have no tax liability. You hear about the Amazons of the world. Oh, they ain't paying no taxes. How are they doing that? Well, they're taking pre-tax revenue. That means they made money, they paid bills, they netted what was left. That was pre-tax revenue. They took that pre-tax revenue, redistributed it under their umbrella, under their parent organization, reallocated it. And some of those redistributions or reallocations, some of them may have been considered non-taxable events. Some of those redistributions or reallocations of that pre-tax revenue may be also considered just basic business expenses for investment purposes. That's one of the biggest tax advantages of having a holding company. So you got a holding company. I should put the graph behind me, but I'm gonna do that Monday. If you want to take advantage of all this information I'm sharing with you, everything that I'm sharing with you is in all these handouts that made up our 4-hour workshop this past Saturday. I'm teaching a whole lot of information. So even if you're not a part of our coaching program or our Blueprint Game Plan program, you can take advantage of this for $29.99. So we're just still offering this 4-hour virtual VIP holding company workshop. You could click that link. All you have to do, if you've never been to our platform, when you click that link, it's going to ask you to either sign up or sign in. That's a secure training platform, Ramon Preston University. If you are already enrolled in our university, you sign in and it's going to prompt you to the checkout for $29.99. Once you process your payment, you're going to have immediate access to all of what you see me with in front of me and the 4-hour workshop. If you're not enrolled, it's going to ask you to enroll by giving your name and your email address, and then it will prompt you to the checkout to have immediate access to it. If you have any questions or concerns, all you have to do is text workshop, text coaching, text blueprint, just text I'm ready to 404-478-7213. We're still offering a 2-year, 24-month payment plan for our business coaching program. So think about it. If you need information on how to start, structure, and scale your business, you need support, you need solutions, you need accountability, you need coaching, you need consulting. Let's say you just need it all for your personal life, for your financial life, and even for your organization, business, or ministry. Guess what? You can join our 1-year business coaching program and you can get all of what I'm talking about for free. If you join our business coaching program, you can take advantage of a 24-month payment plan and you get access for 1 year free to our Blueprint Game Plan. That's our online training program for business, tax strategies, financial literacy, real estate investing. We teach you all that. Hundreds and hundreds of training courses. And guess what? You get access to quarterly one-on-one sessions, bi-weekly coaching calls, virtual training assignments, quarterly group coaching masterminds, in person or virtual. And guess what? If you join our coaching program today, I'm going to just give you this workshop for free. You ain't even got to spend your $29. So just text the word coaching if you're ready to get in where you fit in. I love y'all. I'll see y'all Monday. We're going to come back to this conversation and we're going to take a lot of time next week to discuss a lot of my biggest takeaways from the holding company workshop. And we want to walk you through all the steps and processes that you need to go through to make sure that you are properly starting, structuring, and scaling your businesses, your ministries, your income streams, and your wealth building dreams. Have an amazing weekend. Peace.